Turn your phone on. Shut that shit up. I gotta figure out hoodies for women. You know, and what they would want on it. You know?
I think it's all about the design placement.
Placement.
Yeah, because
What the fuck was that just
it got to be in the right spot, or else it'll look weird.
Why you keep doing this? What's in that spot? What's going on here?
It is anatomy.
Yeah, you can't put none on the anatomy.
It's got to be strategic.
I got you. Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
I think we got some. Sorry, we got some familiar faces here.
Listen, you like get unfamiliar.
Right.
First and foremost, I want to give Call Halal Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. It's all praise to the Most High, in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai Mashiach in the Hebrew. All right, it's another segment of the Couch Captivity Created. You know, we're just going to touch on a topic right quick that, you know, a lot of people speak about. For some reason, I don't even know why we're still talking about these types of things. But brothers still believe that you should only have one woman, you know, at all times. Like, that's the thing. Not realizing that the ratio of women to men, I believe, is 7-1. Not to mention the ratio of homosexual men, incarcerated men, homosexual women, incarcerated women. So there's still sisters out here that don't have a head, right? So I asked the brother to join us, but he ain't want to do all that, and I don't blame him. But what I will do is see if I can go back to our conversation and see what I put. Y'all call here we go. So the brother asked me, so you can be married to 2 wives in America. Oh, let me see. So I told him, I'll just go to it. Is that what the thing doing now? You can't even go far. Let me see. Y'all remember how many days ago that was?
Put it in the
chat. That you was talking about book?
Yeah.
That was before we went to Feast of Tabernacles.
What?
Yeah. So that would be what, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday?
Yeah, some people just post all day. I don't understand that shit.
Hey, while you looking,
Mm-hmm.
I got a couple shout outs. I see some familiar faces and some unfamiliar, so let's see. Shalom, Shimmy. If that's the Shimmy I'm thinking about, this Yizar, shout us out, let us know what's up. But hey, Shalom, God, good to see you. You know what I'm saying?
It's easier to just click a picture. Okay.
Yeah.
What is this right here?
August 30th.
33. What is that?
That's for the Gadiah's son's team number.
Feed me righteously. Shalom, sis. All praise. Good to see you in here.
Righteously.
Khan, Shimmy, that's what's up, family. That's what's up. All praise.
Yeah, how many days ago was that though? I can't even go back to that. I am on Facebook. Scrolling through all his. Hold on, almost there, folks.
Shimmy said he'd been waiting to catch us live. We went a little earlier today, so all praise. Called us.
Shit, this is before the other.
Quad said, look in the LBC chat.
August 31st.
30th.
In the chat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Okay, here we go.
Squad just posted.
So let's start with this, right? Let's start with this premise, right? So monologue, he was commenting too. He said it's actually not according to statistics. Well, let me get to the main post, right? About August 30th. It's enough women and men on earth to have your own. A man should have his own wife, and a woman should have her own husband. I agree. That man should not be trying to take the next man's wife, and that woman should not be trying to take two husbands. Right? And so that's the premise, right? So you know Bazak. Bazak just had to say something. That makes perfect sense. So Bazak does it. So monologue said it's actually not according to statistics. If every black man had a black wife, there would be millions of black women left over. Not saying that to promote any doctrine, but it's just not equal numbers wise. So the brother says the only woman would be left over is the wicked ones. Now, just off of that, logically, that seems flawed. So you're telling me that all the women that are married are righteous?
That's what he said.
Listen. So I said, listen. If you know how I talk, I literally wrote, with that logic, you would then be saying the women that get married are righteous. He said, correct, 100, because a righteous woman will get a righteous husband, and a righteous man will get a righteous wife. And he quotes Sirach 26:23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So brother Post, he say, so what about the precept saying, Proverbs 21:9, it is better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house, right? So is that man just wicked? That's why his woman is all over the place, why she's always arguing and all the other stuff? Not necessarily. But the brother would have to then deal with that statement, right? He says it's saying it's better to dwell in the corner of a house than to go back and forth or fighting with a wicked woman. What about this precept, brother? So it's crazy. A brother can say that. A brother can say, what about this verse? Right? It's better to dwell in a house, this than the other. He says, he tries to explain the verse in addition to saying, what about this precept? That means you're not paying attention to what you're reading. You're just like, those are some of the worst people to deal with because they're not really going over scripture to actually get understanding. It's more so just they don't want to hear nothing you got to say, right? So dudes say, but you never mentioned that. I asked you about Abigail's husband and Lot's wife. He said, what about it, brother? You never asked. You just mentioned them. So what about them? Then he goes to continue saying they was wicked and they spouse wasn't. So are you asking, can we get a second wife or a husband if the ones we are with are wicked?
I found that thread on here. You want me to pull it up?
I've been trying to put niggas' names on there.
Okay, that's why I asked.
This guy's crazy.
That's why I asked.
That's why I only mention one name. So just pay attention to what's being stated. Yeah, keep it anonymous. The brother said they was wicked and their spouse wasn't. I thought I said, with that logic, you would then be saying the woman that get married are righteous. And he said, correct, 100. Listen, I wanted this brother to come here today and have this dialogue. I just really wanted a brother to talk about this because it doesn't make sense. Maybe he's reading too many things. So eventually I say, is there somewhere where it said, okay, no. Okay, yeah. I say, is there somewhere where it says that a man can only take a second wife under specific circumstances? I just want you to look at your logic based on previous statements. A woman will only commit adultery if her husband is wicked. Like that's when a woman will commit adultery. So it's listen, scratch that. Pull this shit up. Let's read it. You know, ain't no anonymous thing. There's stuff over here. Let's just read it. Because I need y'all to actually understand how it's being written. Just remember, I did invite the brother on. You know what I'm saying? It's enough women and men on the earth to have your own. A man should have his own wife, and a woman should have her own husband. Where's she at? Good shot. All right, well, let's scratch that. But go ahead, go down. So it's the one with monologue. Down right there. So we're gonna read it again. Monologue said it's actually not according to statistics. If every black man had a black wife, there would be millions of black women left over. Not saying that to promote any doctrine, but it's just not equal numbers wise. The brother says the only woman would be left over is the wicked ones. I said, with that logic, you would then be saying the women that are married are righteous. That's what you're saying essentially by default. He says, correct, 100. Because a righteous woman will get a righteous husband, and a righteous man will get a righteous wife. Sirach 26:23. Other brothers say, what? So what about the precept saying, Proverbs 21:9, it is better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. Also, what about Abigail's husband or Job's wife? Job was righteous. His wife was off, which is why she died. The brother says, it's saying it's better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than to go back and forth or fighting with a wicked woman. What about this precept, brother? What do you mean, what about this precept? So is the man wicked and the woman wicked? Or is it the woman wicked and the man is righteous? Or is it the woman righteous because she's married to this man? Listen, it's a flawed logic. You can't just say shit and think it's just going to make sense. Watch. The brother say, but you never mentioned that I asked you about Abigail's husband and Lot's wife. He said, what about it, brother? You never asked. You just mentioned them. So what about them? Then he continues to say, they was wicked and their spouse wasn't. So doesn't that go against what you initially said? So are you asking, can we get a second wife or husband if the one we are with are wicked? The Lord said, only if the husband dies, she can get a new husband. And only if the woman commits adultery can you divorce her. Now watch. You see how he did that shit?
Yeah, he trying to switch up.
Listen, I'm going to read that part again. The Lord said, only if the husband dies can she get a new husband. And only if the wife commits adultery, he don't finish it by saying, can get a new wife. You see that? When it comes to the man, he can only do this. The woman can only get a new husband if he does something wrong. When it comes to the man, he put, if a woman commits adultery, you can divorce her. Yeah. So can he get another wife? I said something right after that. I said, is there somewhere where it says that a man can only take a second wife under specific circumstances? And I also followed up with, I just want you to look at your logic based on previous statements. A woman will only commit adultery if her husband is wicked? Question mark. He says, can you take a second wife legally today? If a sister is righteous, she will court that man and prove him before getting married and having regrets. I said, yes, you can. Get that, folks? Yes, you can.
Sí se puede.
Yes. Yeah. I said, yes, you can. According to our Creator's laws, we can. He says, Bazak, so you can be married to 2 wives in America? And when did the Most High say you can have multiple in bondage? Now we're playing the game now. Now it's, I can't have another wife because we're in slavery. Let me ask y'all a question. Are we allowed to have slaves while we're in slavery?
Huh.
Yeah, right? You know what I'm saying? You could have just asked the chat, my nigga. You ain't had to answer. You know what I'm saying? You just said be interactive. I gotta see the chat. What's going on in the chat?
Kashab called him man a feminist.
Yeah. Yeah, we ain't keeping shit anonymous today, bro. We gonna keep it thorough. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I'm gonna go back to what he said right quick. He said, so you can be married to 2 wives in America. And then he said, and when did the Most High say you can have multiple in bondage? Now, I posed this question to my soldiers and stuff like that in the chat, and I said, how would you respond to this? Right? It took me about all day to actually care about responding, because I just knew from previous statements he just was not going to really care about what I had to say. You know? So I said, so if our captors give us a law, we keep that over the Most High. We never went to Esau to get a marriage license, King. LOL. When will Isaiah 4 come into play if 7 women gonna cleave to 1 man? So I gave him the precepts, right? It says, I need y'all to pay attention. Seriously pay attention. My nigga read. Isaiah 4:1. Yeah, let you get active.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, from the top. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of 1 man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name.
Hold on, read that again.
Isaiah 4 from the top. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of 1 man.
7 women are going to say, I want to be with you. Go ahead.
Saying, we will eat our own bread.
They're going to buy their own food.
And wear our own apparel.
Buy their own clothes.
Only let us be called by thy name.
They just want to be known as Bazak's rib.
To take away our reproach.
Right? To do what?
To take away our reproach.
To take away our reproach. Keep reading.
Verse 2. In that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious. And the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. Verse 3. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and he that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy. even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem.
Okay, so I pulled that scripture, asked him about the 7 wives. He responds with, in that day means when the Lord comes back, brother. This is a brother that teaches on the corner, I think. He said, in that day means when the Lord comes back, brother. And the Lord told us to obey the laws of the land we live in today. So you basically going off your emotions. That's what he told me. He told me I was going off my emotions. I was going off my emotions. That's what he told me. Nakash. He told me I was going off my emotions. I said, LOL, no emotions, King. Would you like to discuss this on my Wednesday night class, King? I say, so he tells the other brother, the other brother says this to him first. No, I wasn't asking about a second. The point of me mentioning Abigail's husband and Lot's wife was to show a righteous person can still be given to a wicked spouse.
That part.
And he said, okay, we know that. So what's your point, King? What the funk are you talking about? He literally said that that's not what's going on. That's not how it is.
His whole premise was that the wicked women were the ones left over.
Yeah. He say, are you saying this to say you can divorce them or get someone else? What the funk are you paying attention to? I said, you can't say that. You told me only wicked women are given to wicked men. He says, you don't make sense at all. Oh yeah, you see the shitty spelling. Mm-hmm. Sense. No, it's sense. S-E-N-S-E.
It's good.
But it's all good. You swear he's Northern Kingdom or something, you know? Yeah, no, you know, Northern Kingdom in English. Spelling English words is just
Judah and spelling English is an issue.
Judah is just goddamn ignorant. Just goddamn ignorant. So O.B. Ottawa says what? No, I'm not saying that. See, I think that you are believing that I'm coming on here to defend polygyny and such. I'm only talking about that every righteous person doesn't get a righteous spouse. Only saying that. No more, no less. See, I understand this tactic. I get it. I do it too. I can easily come on here and talk about multiple wives. I didn't do that. I literally just dealt with, so what happens with so you're telling me that the women that don't get married are wicked. So are you saying that women that do get married are all righteous? I didn't go into multiple wives. I didn't bring any of that up because I'm doing just like the brother. I don't need to defend this point. I can deal with this point, and it's going to deal with every other point that's being stated. Like I said, the brother has said to him, I'm only talking about that every righteous person doesn't get a righteous spouse. Only saying that, no more, no less. I bring that out and proved it with accounts because you brought out Sirach 26:23. So I was asking you, how do you explain that precept I brought out then, and the accounts I brought out also about Lot and Abigail's spouses. I said to the other brother, I said, listen, I've been trying to get him to realize his logic is flawed. So the brother says to me, nah, you just flawed, bro. Man up. You see that shit? Nah, you just flawed, bro. Man up. He's talking about me. Not that part, the other part. He told me I need to man up.
Don't look
I said, you never answered my question about discussing this at my class Wednesday, King. He ain't never come back and say nothing. This is 5 days ago. The other brother said, what is your thoughts on the evidence, precepts, and accounts that I brought out to you? Yeah, he ain't never come back with none of that. But, listen, let me show you how women are. So a brother say, that would be an opinion, of course, correct? The brother says, Khan, because of the world we living in, it makes sense. Then he says, but the scriptures does say this though. Bro, listen, I don't be getting it. He pulled 1 Corinthians 7:2. Get that?
Come from where you is to where to.
Bro. 1 Corinthians 7:2. And then you'll see a woman respond, because that's all women want to hear is one wife, one wife, one wife. You've been sharing niggas your whole life. You come to this truth and you just think you're so damn special. Ain't nothing changed.
Yeah. It's the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, starting at verse 2. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife. And let every woman have her own husband.
Okay, what does that mean? It just said to avoid fornication. Do you know adultery is a form of fornication? Fucking idiot. Excuse my language, folks. God. Read that again.
God.
That nigga pulled this scripture, thinking he was deep.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 2.
Oh my God, I gotta read the rest of that part when you're done with this.
Nevertheless, to avoid fornication.
To avoid fornication.
Let every man have his own wife.
Let that man have his own woman. Meaning what? That man should not take the next man's woman. Idiot. Go ahead.
And let every woman have her own husband.
Meaning what? You don't need two husbands. Have your own husband. You understand? Be with your man. That's it on that, right? This man says, didn't say wives or husbands. I'm not saying it's sin because that's not in the Bible. No, you can easily say it's not a sin. Don't say it's not in the Bible, nigga. It's not a sin. But what I'm saying is to avoid fornication and all the filth our people come with, have your own wife and a woman have her own husband. You know, in the kingdom, it will be different. But right now, things are out of order and we have to follow the laws of the land we live in. Brothers didn't have two wives when they hung us from trees. Why? Because we are on punishment.
Don't tell me this. Don't tell me this one of them chicken joys.
Bro, Kashak, you wasting the water. Keep the $2 drive alive in my Cash App. Y'all keep paying these white people and y'all think y'all outsmarting them. You just gave them $1.75. Then the girl gonna say, I'm with you. Interesting. Somehow this scripture is overlooked.
You know how she thinks.
Eve waiting to hear something she won't hear.
Right.
So a brother say, now I get what you're saying via the script, but I also saw you say that you don't think brothers should have multiple wives, which I'm assuming this post is Lammy backing that post. Then Naquam says, this particular fornication Paul was talking about stems from 1 Corinthians 5. It's not speaking against men having more than one wife. It's talking about a man that slept with his own father's wife. It was a Reuben situation. Paul is giving advice that if a man was given a wife of his own, he would be less likely to fornicate with another man's, especially his own father's. Their word own doesn't mean one. If a three child and one of them betrayed me, if I say my own son betrayed me, does that mean I only have one son? Own simply means that someone belongs or pertains to you. Yes, it's a possession. It doesn't mean one as most people conclude when they see the word. If a man had 3 wives, their individual relationship with him makes them his own. Scoop all that. Okay. So the brother says, I don't think brothers should be focused on having multiple wives in the times we live in today. We at the end and have to stay focused. We can't even lawfully do it in America today. So why force it knowing the women are defiled and the men burn with lust? Like, I'm not worried about marrying some dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if that nigga burning with lust. It ain't got nothing to do with me. He say, in Jacob's trouble, brothers won't be dragging seven women with them. LOL. Brothers will be pilgrims and trying to escape destruction with the family he already has, not worrying about a second and third wife, plus multiple kids by them. Brothers don't be realistic.
Brothers ain't hooked on phonics somewhere.
He say, the other brother say, I preach that women should never be your main focus. I'm just hoping that you're just speaking your opinion, because though it is an opinion, something is doctrine. But you can legally do it in America though. You know, niggas don't read. He say, where does it say that this is a commandment from the Most High? He said, where on this post did I say it was a commandment? And where in the Bible did I say having multiple is a commandment? The brother says, I never said that it was a commandment to have multiple wives. What I asked was, where did the Most High say what you just said? I have no interest in polygamy, as it doesn't work for anything that I'm doing. I do have a question, though. You said that there's a man for every woman. That's not true, especially in the community, because of the amount of death that is being given to us by the powers that be. Something has to be done, and moral relationships are worth at stake.
What's probably he meant what's probably.
Yeah, bro. There are laws that govern polygamous relationship. The problem is most people don't know them, and a lot of what we are dealing with is the whole aspect of adultery or cheating. If a man can't commit to multiple women and they make the agreement to do so under the guise of not being a cheater or an adulterer, that is where the law is broken. Because what happens between a man and a woman, or a husband and a wife, is their business, not mine or yours. He gonna say, brother, you're getting too deep. The post say what it say. If you don't agree, keep it moving. So such an effing cop out, bro. Then the brother say, "There's no such thing as too deep, and I have no issue with keeping it moving. But my problem is, it's such a vague topic that it had to go deep in order to get the point across. But I'm understanding that we are not on the same page, so I'll just keep it moving, like you said." Oh, but guess what? All the women love that stuff. All the women love it.
100.
Good. That's right. Tell me. Y'all have names like that.
Scroll down. But it does mean that the original post is not correct. Every woman has a husband, and it's millions of single women left. Then what? The brother say, post ain't incorrect. You are. I'm saying what the Lord said. Nigga, shut the funk. All right,
Ain't that what Paul said?
bro. That is insane. Listen, you wasn't gonna come on this. You wasn't gonna come here. You wasn't gonna talk to me about this. Let's get Deuteronomy 25:5.
Man,
You wasn't gonna come on here and talk to me about this.
man.
Hold on. What was that question?
Which one?
Sunshine. What?
Shawnee.
So what's the difference between his own and her own spouse? His own mean, remember, it's ownership, right? Belonging to. His own. I thought I literally just explained it not too long ago. What time is it right now? Because I was at 10:20. So 3 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Okay, she probably missed what I said then. Okay, so the man can have multiple women. It's just saying, let that man have his own wife. It's just saying, don't commit adultery. That's all it's talking about.
Yeah, the key word in that verse is the fornication.
Yeah, the whole point of this of that verse is in the beginning, the fornication. Listen, Shimmy, they don't want to remember that. They don't want to remember that. 700 wives and 300 concubines. You know, his own, her own.
Give it a scenario about who's the pappy. If the woman had.
I don't even think that's a good one to say right now.
I mean, she trying to hint that it's okay for women to have multiple husbands.
Is that what she's saying?
Yes.
You sure?
I'm positive.
You think so?
Yeah.
If it's good for you, then what?
Yeah, I think so.
Why don't y'all just say that instead of having me fucking nigga type that shit? What you want me to say?
Give it a breakdown on
Give it a break. Listen,
who's the pappy.
what y'all are doing is y'all are assuming. That's something we don't do. So you're either going to ask her flat out and force her to say what you think she said, or y'all are just going to assume y'all know what they talking about, and then y'all gonna make yourselves look like fools when y'all start speaking on something that they not talking about. That's something I learned a long time ago. Like I tell you, I'm going to don't assume nothing. Ask me. Find out what I'm talking about. That seems that he married. Oh God. Every woman he has sex with is his wife, I'm asking. Okay, so all of us before we came onto this walk, we was in the world, and all y'all was wrong. Just wanted y'all to see that. All right. Before this walk, we all shake your head. Yes, you were wrong too.
Did you read her question?
I did read the question. Did you read her question?
That's a whole different topic about Solomon.
No. This one. That's her question. That's what it's about. She's trying to figure out how does that work. Okay. Before we all came into truth, we was living our lives, doing whatever we was doing, right? Then some brothers were in relationships when they came into the understanding of who we are. In doing so, we've then taken on the responsibility of whatever we were doing the day before we found out this information. So if I was in a relationship the day before, I can't then come into this walk and then say, I, my black princess or Hispanic princess, I can't be with you no more because I found this truth. You can't do that. So you come into this walk and you bring your woman with you. A lot of the times, the women are not really on board, you know, sometimes. And sometimes it's brand new. It's a whole new thing for a lot of people. But that brother can't let that girl go. Now, the other part to it, a brother comes into this walk. He wasn't in a relationship before the walk, right? Leading up to the walk. He comes into the walk, and then he meets a girl. And then when he meets this girl, listen, who told you to repent for having multiple women? Listen, having multiple women is lawful. The problem is we were niggas in the world. So we weren't basing our relationships off of those things. We would sleep with a chick and never worry about it no more. But if we were raised in righteousness, if we did what it said to do, train up a child in the way that they should go, they should not depart. If we did that, then we wouldn't have slept with the women that we slept with before we came into this walk. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just assuming that's a girl too, but anyways. Yeah. So that's what it boiled down to. That brother, so at what point are you no longer obligated to a woman that you have been with? When she commits adultery. Karas, I don't need your help, brother. I guarantee I don't need your help. You know what I'm saying? Just giving you a heads up because you could have been teaching this class if you wanted to. Uh-huh. Who is that?
Jeremiah.
Who is that?
Bro, that come by camp though.
Listen. So you're married to every woman you've been with? No, because you didn't have the knowledge of that. But once you come onto this walk, every woman you're dealing with going forward, you're then married to them. I'm not going to tell. It's impossible for me to go backwards and go deal with the chick I had when I was 16, because she's now been dealt with. She's had multiple marriages her damn self. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, like Christ said, when you come into this, you got to come as a child. You got to be born again, right? So that's why all those women that you dealt with before, they are not your wife today. Because when you came into this walk, you wasn't holding a woman's hand. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna go hit up no chick that I dealt with 3 years ago and be like, have you slept with anybody lately? If not, you're my wife. She ain't gonna care about none of that. She ain't even gonna vibe with that. You gotta do Deuteronomy 25:5.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, verse 5.
We're gonna show you all the accounts of brothers having multiple wives. That's how we know that it's a lawful thing. It's a righteous thing.
Okay.
Hold on. Probably why the king had so many wives, 700 plus wives, right? Of course. Because he was already in the know. Remember, he's King Solomon. He knew the law. You know what I'm saying? His problem was, as we all are, we're humans, we tend to deal with people we shouldn't be dealing with. And that's what he did. You know, having all those women, he allowed some of them to steer him down the wrong path, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, go ahead.
Look at Deuteronomy chapter 25 and verse 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger.
She ain't got no child. She had this married, because here's the thing, right? You need progeny, right? You need offspring. That's what it's all about. That's why in Egypt they killed the firstborn male. That's why in America it's all about killing the men. Throw them in jail, criminalize them, make them look a certain type of way. That's how they stop us from having children. That's, you know what I'm saying? We ain't allowed in the house, giving the women the welfare, this and the other. So now, where we would have been in the house, had that government assistance coming in, we would have been popping our kids, bro. Straight up. But what they didn't realize is, in doing what they did, now I have a baby with you. You ain't messing with me no more, because the white man that gave you power. Now I got a baby with this girl. You understand? Then I got a baby with that girl, because you gonna leave. You understand? Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead. Hold on. Yes, he had a lot of sex. A lot of humping.
Even in Esau's law, you got to consummate the marriage. So
yeah, a lot of sex. Listen, it's just funny. Listen, are you a sister?
I don't think a lot of people realize a lot of Solomon's marriages was political or strategic. You know, because his father went to war and made all these treaties, but to keep the peace, he had a lot of agreements and marriages based on it.
We the only ones to answer your question. Listen, we here for you. We here for you. You know, we here for you. I'm just glad that you had questions pertaining to this subject. You know what I'm saying? Now, where'd you get that from, Yazian?
What the Solomon with the why he married certain wives?
Yeah.
Because if you look at some of the wives that he married, I'll give you where the source is.
Show me the source.
I got it. Inside the crib.
You don't got it in the Bible.
Bro,
why you acting like that, bro? I'm asking you a question.
Yeah.
Are you saying this based off of something you read in the scriptures?
Yeah.
I don't believe that shit, baby. Listen, bro.
I'll find
it. Don't even worry about it right now. Let me get Matthew 25. Did we finish that? Finish that.
All right, I'm sorry. Deuteronomy 25 and 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her, and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her.
All praises, sis. You know what I'm saying? We here for you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got questions, we gonna always try and give you answers. Continue with that.
Verse 6.
Read that again.
Okay, Deuteronomy 25 and 5. If brethren dwell together, and one of them die, and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger.
Should not marry without unto a stranger. Go ahead.
Her husband's brother shall go in unto her,
Uh-huh.
and take her to him to wife,
Uh-huh.
and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her.
Which is what? To give his dead brother a seed. That's what it's about. Go ahead.
Verse 6. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel.
It's all about tribes, right? Let's get Matthew 25. How was
Question.
huh?
Question.
Go ahead.
She wants to know if you didn't have a brother, then what?
She would have to marry within her tribe.
Cousin next, right?
You know what I'm saying? She can't marry nobody outside the tribe because that's how you
One example was that in Luke where it mentioned Heli, and then as it was supposed.
I don't know, but you can't be doing all that deep breaths next to that camera. Puffing, going.
25 and she asked a question.
No, Jimmy's asking the question, bro. How was men allowed to take women from other nations? I see its laws on it. Is it only when we get back in the land, or we can in captivity too? All right, well, let me put it to you like this. Low. When it comes down to a man having taking these, what do you take it off the screen, bro? The what? How was men allowed to take women from other nations, right? So there was different instances where we would take women from other nations, right? One would be after war. After war, we would take their women, shave their head, cut their nails, all that stuff. And then after their mourning process, we then take that woman as our wife. You know what I'm saying? There's only 7 nations that we cannot take as spouses. And it was a Deuteronomy
7.
7.
7 and 7, I believe. I got a precept for you too.
7 is Deuteronomy 7.
About Solomon. 7 and 4.
No, Dinah could not marry outside of Israel. I mean, yes, she could have, because all she had was brothers.
But
there was no Israel.
They got with them.
No. She got raped.
No, but I said they got with them.
Yeah, Dinah got raped, and then Simeon and Levi had to go and regulate. And even then, you could just see, based off of what's written, how, even Jacob felt about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was still mad at Levi and Simeon for what they did. You got it. Okay. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 7?
Yeah.
All right. Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, starting verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Nope. Doesn't start up, buddy.
Yeah. The first chapter, first verse.
Verse at the top.
All right. Top, yeah.
Women should not be marrying anybody outside of Israel. Ever. No woman. Because whatever child y'all have, that's the seed of the father. Only Israelite men can produce Israelite children outside of Israel. Only Israelite men can produce Israelite children.
Right.
Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, from the top. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, seven nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee,
these nations are greater than us, mightier than us. These the same. Listen, y'all gotta understand. These the same nations from the garden, but y'all ain't gonna understand that right now. But you know, it is what it is. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 7:2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
We shall smite them and utterly destroy them. Right? Go ahead.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Can't make no covenant with them.
Nor show mercy unto them.
You couldn't even show them mercy. These seven nations. Go ahead. Because they're greater than you. They're mightier than you.
Now, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
Neither shalt thou make marriages with them.
Neither shall you make marriages with them.
Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son.
We can't give you to their sons.
Nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
And my son should not be dealing with their nasty ass daughters. Go ahead.
For they will turn away thy son from following me.
And that's what would happen. Go ahead.
That they may serve other gods.
Uh-huh.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Verse 5. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire.
Go ahead.
For thou art an holy people.
You are an holy people
unto the Lord thy God.
Unto the Lord thy God.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
He chose you
to be a special people.
Special people
unto himself.
Unto himself.
Above all people.
Above all people
that are upon the face of the earth.
That are upon the face of the earth. That's why you do what he tells you to do. He made you to be special. He made you to be set apart. Right? You sit on that? Go back to Matthew 25. Hold on. They asking questions still. We already answered it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. She don't want to spell out that word.
Yeah, it was a trick. That was the whole point. I'm gonna put it to you like this, right? I circumcised myself. And I know what that feeling, I know what that pain feels like at 30-something years old to cut your foreskin and then you gotta go to work the next day. You know what I'm saying? So they knew if they want my sister, because like they said, the dude raped Dinah. So if I convince, if they say, yo, let me get her, this and the other, I'll do anything for her. Okay, then this is what y'all do: circumcise all of the men and follow after our customs, because that's one of our customs. Listen, they did it, and Simeon and Levi knew they would be in pain. So yeah, they knew it was gonna be weak. So what they did was, after that, they killed them. Con. Social intercourse.
I mean,
yeah, sis, that's what was going on. You ain't got to use such big words.
Commercial intercourse. That's a good one. They call that, you know what I'm saying, something else on the plate.
Listen, You know? But yeah, man. You know, stick to your Israelite men and sisters. You know, that's what you can do. Matthew 25.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 25, from the top. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins.
So this is Christ speaking, right? He's telling you the kingdom of heaven is like 10 virgins. Go ahead.
Which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
10 virgins trying to get married. Go ahead.
And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish.
Go ahead.
They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us your oil, for our lamps are going out. But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell, and buy for yourselves.
Hey, get your own oil.
Right.
Go ahead.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut.
So even when dealing with Christ, he's using a parable of 10 virgins. If Christ can use that parable to say to give you a visual of 10 women choosing one man, then why are our brothers still speaking about how this is wrong or we shouldn't be doing this because it is or this? And listen, man. Even when we were slaves in our own land, Jerusalem, under the Romans, you then would have to prove to me that we didn't have more than one woman at a time. I know it'll be the easiest thing to say we didn't, but you'd have to substantiate that. All right? Con, Shimmy. All right? Let's get Jeremiah 31. So Yahweh Shai says 10 women, 10 virgins, get the lambs, coming to the bridegroom. All right? Let's see what the Most High talking about.
What, the new covenant?
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Jeremiah 31.
The new
We're
covenant?
gonna read 31 to
Yeah. Gotcha.
32.
I got you.
31 from the top, right?
31.
31.
32.
All right. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, starting at verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
Right? He's making a new covenant with his 2 women, the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Go ahead.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them.
So he was the husband to 2 wives, Israel and Judah. All right? Finish that out.
Verse 33. But this shall be the covenant.
32. Yeah.
Thus said the Lord.
Yeah. 2 Samuel 12. And verse 8.
It's the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 12, starting at verse 8. And I gave thee thy master's house, and thy master's wives into thy bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and of Judah. And if that had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things.
So David had many wives, and that was all because of the Most High, right? King David.
Didn't Saul give him those wives?
Yeah.
Saul gave him some.
Genesis 31 and 17.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 31, starting at verse 17. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels.
Jacob said what?
Then Jacob rose up and set his son and his wives upon camels. And he carried away all of his cattle.
So Jacob had sons and wives, right? All right, here we go. Exodus 21 and 10. So we're reading these accounts of brothers having multiple wives. Now everybody go into the law.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, at verse 10.
Do you have to provide for your wives? Provide what? Quatarawan.
Exodus, that's a question? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Qatar one.
Exodus 21 and 10. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish.
If you take him another wife. So, let's say for instance, I have two wives. One wife, I was paying her car, her phone, her rent. She might not even live with me, but I was paying all that. Let's say I take another wife. Because I was paying all those things, I don't then diminish from what I was doing. I have to continue what I was doing even though I have a new woman. Right? But if I wasn't paying for no car, no house, and no rent, I damn sure ain't about to start doing it when I take another wife. You didn't need me for that in the first place. So I ain't nobody fool. What'd she say? What do you mean by that?
Like I was talking earlier, like your first girl you dealt with at 16, you're not going to deal with her now because she's already been in several other relationships.
Yeah, but you gotta understand. I can't once again assume that that's what she's talking about. Yeah, but you can't prove you're not responsible for all women you lay with, right? Righteously taking care of all your wives. I mean, meaning what though? Right? Because what are we taking care of? Are we talking about bills? Are we talking about monetary help? Are we talking about spiritual guidance? Are we talking about that word women like to use, emotional, whatever. I didn't understand your analogy. What analogy?
Yeah, be specific, Qatar.
Be specific with Tarawan. Exodus says you must provide raiment and clothes. But then Isaiah says, pull the script.
He's going to Isaiah 4 again.
How can we be responsible for all women we lay with? I'm not responsible for the women when I was 16. She got a whole nigga husband. She You got a whole husband now. You about to go send her no money? I'm about to take care of that. What's the verse? Qatar 1, you know better than just make a statement like that. Just say what you're saying, but post the verse.
I think he's talking about Isaiah 4:1.
No, he's talking about Exodus.
Right, but his other ones in Isaiah.
Listen, you guys. He still has to quote Exodus. We see Isaiah 4.
We just read it. So I'll pull up Exodus first.
He says, but Exodus says you have to pay for this, that, and the other.
So shall not he diminish, right?
Yeah.
And I believe he's talking about
Come on,
Isaiah,
get off that screen.
Isaiah 4.
You ain't gotta go there. Isaiah 4 was the 7 women.
Right.
What you looking at?
I was looking at that blue that I couldn't
You know what that is. What you doing?
I was just showing both of the verse. I thought that was what he was talking about because we went over both of them. And he's trying to say her raiment shall not diminish in Exodus.
Stop. That's why you ask. That's what it's all about. Kutaro, what you talking about?
Right.
Hold on, what is both ways though? What is both ways? Because the only way you're gonna get away with this is if you telling me that you only been with one person your whole life. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What I'm trying to understand is how Exodus says we must provide clothes and food, but then Isaiah 4:1 says that we'll get their own stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you, Qatar 1, this is hella basic right now. You know that. Isaiah 4:1 has nothing to do with Exodus. If you know anything about Exodus is talk the Lord. Context. Read up, read down. Exodus is talking about what? A slave woman, believe it or not. And Isaiah 4 is telling you in that day, women are going to cleave to a man. Like, I think that's what happens though. People choose not to read. Hold on. Oh, good Lord. The way people talk on this stuff is crazy. Every single woman you lay with or you saying have multiple wives is wrong.
Not sure who that was directed at.
Listen, drop a link. I'm tired of. I can't read this shit all day. Y'all, we're gonna drop a link. Y'all come on here. Y'all just explain to me what y'all saying because it's gonna be easy like that. I'd rather just don't worry. We ain't gotta put your face online or nothing like that. I just rather you ask the question because it's a lot of typing going on, and it's don't worry, man. Just ask the question. I would like. Brother say, I don't know how Exodus and Isaiah go together. And it's like, I don't think they're supposed to.
Qatar 1, stop playing.
Just want me to give a breakdown.
You want to talk a little, bro?
What?
You want to talk to Qatar 1?
Listen, he asked a question.
All right.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, I understand what you meant by hired servant, but as far as that, but what I'm really trying to like get an understanding is like uh I'm trying to make sense of the two scriptures as far as Isaiah 4:1 and Exodus, because Isaiah 4:1 says that they only want to be called by your name, and then that they will get their own clothes and all this stuff, but then Exodus says that you must provide. So I mean, which one is it? Like, are you obligated to get those things for your wife, or are you not? Like, are you incentive?
All right. Start at Exodus 21:7. You got to start with getting the context. Yeah, and yeah, sis, if it was righteous, then it's righteous now. Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Sis, you can just click that. I'm gonna post the link again. But sis,
Yeah,
if
you would just have to click the link in the chat. Just click that link.
I just posted a new one. Just click on that, and we'll let you in the panel.
But go ahead.
Let's look at Exodus 21, starting at verse 7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant,
This is the context. This is what we're talking about.
she shall not go out as the maidservants do, as the men servants do.
Go ahead.
Verse 8. If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself.
So if she please not her master, who is planning on marrying her, then what?
Then shall he let her be redeemed.
He gonna let her get paid for it, right? Someone can buy her back, right? Go ahead.
To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he hath dealt deceitfully with her.
Right? Go ahead.
And if he hath betrothed her unto his son,
and if he gives that handmaid to his son,
he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters.
He shall treat her like a daughter.
Verse 10. If he take him another wife,
if the son takes another wife,
her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage, shall he not diminish.
No matter if it's the person that's supposed to be pretending that he's the dad or this and the other, but if that man takes another woman, he can't stop taking care of this woman. That's different from if you never took care of a woman. Nobody's telling you you have to take care of that woman. That's why you have Isaiah 4 talking about she'll take care of her, she'll pay her own bills, she'll buy her own food, she'll do all those things. She doesn't want to be called by your name.
I mean, it makes perfect sense for Isaiah and a future prophecy to be saying, hey, these women is already self-sufficient. Look what's happening now.
That part. Back then, you had to deal with a man. There wasn't nobody with no money. There wasn't girls who were making no money back then.
Right.
So, if I'm getting this, if I'm understanding this right,
You can hear him?
Hold on, Qatar one. Go ahead.
if I'm understanding this right, does that mean you're not in sin if you don't provide food and raiment?
Let me ask you a question. Who told you you had to buy her food or feed her?
Well, from what I understood with Exodus 21 and 10,
But we just read what Exodus 21 is about, right? So what is Exodus 21 about?
A hired servant.
Okay. Is your wife a hired servant?
La.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean, listen. if you're a man and you don't want to feed your woman, you shouldn't have one. That's how simple that is.
No, I understand what you're
I
saying.
got a scripture for that.
No, yeah, I understand.
You get it?
Yeah, I get it now. It's just, I guess when the scripture gets pulled out often, uh,
Which one?
Exodus 21:10,
Uh-huh.
most people don't elaborate it as being a hired servant.
All you got to do is go to verse 7. Get the context. And Guitar, you of all people should know that's how we do things. I've been taught y'all that. Read up, read down.
Yeah, yeah. I just been like, I've gotten caught like in a trick bag with that whenever like Isaiah 4:1 was is pulled out. So then I just wanted to get a better understanding. So, but now I know better. So
You heard me.
He said he got a little confounded on when somebody brings those two out, but now with context,
Yeah,
it's clear.
reading is fundamental. That's how you cut them people, is reading.
Yep. Context is king.
All right, post another link in the chat for the sister. Always a pleasure, man. Y'all about to
I just talked to him earlier too. He called me right before class. All right, good talk. Let's see what she said. Oh, this is cool. It's cool with all the sisters. And leave it's no problem. Do your parts.
Just come on the show, girl.
Click that link, sis. I'm gonna put a new one. Fresh. Click on the link because it's
click on the link under your name.
It's difficult to really interpret a short text. I was gonna get Qatar one, that 1 Timothy 5. Infidel.
Go ahead, sis. Click that link.
Yeah, Sunshine, if you have any questions about how to join or what you need to do, just type it in here. It's real. You click the link literally and accept audio and video. But you can always turn your camera off. So no worries.
See me, I gotta have my ugly ass on here. You know? That's just how it is.
Let's see, she's steady time.
Yeah, how beautiful it would be if women would actually stay with their man too. You know what I'm saying? How beautiful it would be. Hey, in the words of Shimmy, it'd be beautiful.
Sorry. How many brothers do you know whose family broke apart because the woman was mad that Pops had another woman? If we want to talk about righteousness, right?
Even if we talk about in the world,
right?
They're doing all that too.
Right. So I'm saying married folk, my family went through that, right? Pops got caught out there, but he wasn't doing nothing wrong according to God's law.
Yeah.
That wasn't nobody else's wife, but you know what I'm saying?
But the society we live in, we've been told we can't have more than one woman. It's called cheating.
Look, and it's just my mom's generation because grandma them didn't go nowhere.
Nah, you don't need no ring. It's a white man custom.
It's this
You know
thing,
what I'm
man.
saying? It's a white man custom.
So, what's this? Is gotta work. The water, sis.
Of course, man. Anytime, sis. You know what I'm saying? It's always love. It's always love. All right, shimmy. Now, what you saying? How do you go about a righteous marriage? Nah, you don't need no ring. You don't need no paper. You know?
Read his life.
Yeah.
Shimmy crazy. You say you're right, Blue.
Well, Deacon also does marriages, you know what I'm saying? So he officiates them, you know what I'm saying? So he can come to you, you know, for a little fee, and he can oversee your ceremony and stuff like that. You can have your family come through. Both of y'all families can go there, and they can all stand there and enjoy themselves. You know what I'm saying? You know, simple like that. You know? But yeah, a lot of the times, you know, a lot of women would wear like head wraps to signify their marriage. We're still in 2023. Some people still put on rings. You know, outside of that, you don't really need anything. You just need a loyal, a reliable woman. Con. All right. Yeah.
Shimmy, holla at you, boy, man. Check in on.
Con.
Last thing
Genesis 31:17.
God.
It's a good one. They be cloudy.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 31, starting in verse 17. Then Jacob rose up and set his sons and his wives upon camels.
There go Jacob. Jacob had sons and wives. Right? Jacob had wives. Is it Zilpah, Bilhah, Leah, and Rachel? Listen. And even through jealousy, the only thing women cared about, which is what we don't see now, is being mothers. And not even being mothers. Let me tell you what a woman's goal was back then. To give that man a son.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's always been about. Give that man a son. That's how you keep your people going. If all we had was daughters, we would never be anything. We wouldn't even exist anymore. You need the men to keep it going. So you watch any movie. Watch any movie from medieval times to biblical times. Any movie. It was always about like you'll see a man go off to war, come back galloping on his horse, get off his horse, and he's like, what was it? Well, how did it go? And be like, it's a girl. Be like, to hell with that woman. You know what I'm saying? Because that nigga need boys. He need boys. That was how it went. You know what I'm saying? Con. You know what I'm saying? Fox with a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Link with me. You know what I'm saying? You know? Yeah. That's why. So that's why you can't have, you know, that's why you don't see monarchs around too much anymore. Like that was a whole thing. You gotta bring forth the son. A lot of people needed to see that. You needed to be able to bring forth the son so that your name could live on. That's why earlier we read about the brother, it was Genesis 25, or Deuteronomy 25, talking about how the brother, if a brother dies, the brother of the deceased brother has to go in unto that brother's rib to bring forth seed to carry on that man's name. It's not the same brother, but we are related to the point where your child will be from this tribe, and as close as it is, my family. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, people got to just understand that, man. We're gonna stop it here. We're gonna keep it going. We're gonna do it again next week. We're gonna do some more next week too. You know, we're gonna do some more next week too.
And tell Sunshine, send us an email. I'm gonna put the email so we can keep a link.
No, he ain't pull out. He pull out and drop seed on the floor. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's Anna.
That's Judah's hard head. So.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know? He went in unto her, and then when he was getting ready to ski, he pulled out, dropped it on the floor. You know? Because of his own selfish reasons, right? You know, but you know, another beautiful class right quick. I mean, we have a ton of precepts to go over, but I don't want to keep y'all for no damn, 2, 3, 4 hours. So we're gonna just continue it again next week. You know.
I dropped that email so the sister, if she got any questions.
She probably went to bed, bro. She supposed to drop that shit earlier when she said,
she right there.
I have to go to work. She said, thank you.
2 minutes ago.
She ain't said nothing since.
All right, just in case.
You know? But y'all go enjoy y'all night. You know what I'm saying? It's P for profits, baby. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget to check out that Unforgiven, man. You know what I'm saying? Hanging white boys from the rafters. You know? Come, man, come. Anytime, King. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing is about brothers coming from different walks of life, coming back to the Most High and seeking Him 10 times more than what we sought Him before. We look forward to brothers. Remember, it talks. Let's get that.
Baruch 4?
Nah.
Nope.
Luke 15:10. Yup. Luke 15:10.
That's the book of Luke, chapter 15 and verse 10. Likewise, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels and the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth.
Read it again.
Luke 15, verse 10. Likewise, I say unto you, there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repenteth.
There is joy amongst the angels when one sinner repents. That's why Christ said, you got 99, you got 100 sheep and one goes astray. You don't rejoice about the 99 sheep you got. You go get that one sheep that went astray, and then when you bring that sheep back, then you can rejoice. You understand? We were all that one sheep. There was people on this walk before we even heard about this. When we heard about it, we became those one sheep. Go ahead.
That's for Shimmy.
Uh,
This one, Book 4, 28.
All right, verse 4.
listen,
Sorry, just mentioned.
as I literally quoted it verbatim.
I want to give him the script. Book 4 and 28. 4. Book 4.
You ain't got to do that if you knew it, but no, you know.
4. Here we go. I got you, King.
Time. The book of Baruch, chapter 4, and verse 28. For as it was your mind to go astray from God,
It was your mind to go astray from the Most High. Go ahead.
so being returned,
When you return unto the Most High,
seek him 10 times more.
you got to seek the Most High 10 times more. Right? That's what it's about. And in doing so, you got to get back to the original principles, right? The original oracles, the original words written down. That's the Dawah, right? The instructions or Torah, right? Khan. Hey, we appreciate you too, King. And y'all have a beautiful night. Y'all Bashim, y'all Shabbat Shalom. And don't forget, man, check out Woe Apparel online. You know, they got somebody on that. I don't know who it is, but they business is out there. It's looking good. I be trying to model some of this stuff too, you know, because I care about Israelite businesses, right? So yeah, man, check out that gear.
I'm going to put the link in the chat.
He gonna put the link in the chat.
Damn.
He gonna put the link in the chat. I gotta go to unemployment tomorrow. You put the link in the chat?
About to hit it now. That's it. There you go.
Tonight?
Here y'all go, family. It's a link.
You wild.
Give it a look.
Give it a look, see. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate all of y'all. We appreciate everything y'all do. We appreciate that y'all stay up late night to watch these classes. You know what I'm saying? Con, we're gonna be on the block Saturday. MMP, if you needed any tassels, man, you better send that info now. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know.
Everybody looked up today.
Yeah, that look like hospital. That's not a thing. You just go into the hospital. Just eat.
You should tell this nigga about
That's
that.
some good food in there.
Stop lying.
Hey, pull up, cuz. Pull up, low.
Which one?
It'll be good to see y'all brothers out there. You know what I'm saying? What we doing?
Listen, real estate, dude, that's
Yeah, Shimmy, you in good hands, family.
what it was good.
Listen, I only them certain meals. And salmon, maybe. Talk about that nonsense. That's why you niggas bringing your socks, nigga.
Shimmy, make sure you understand, right? Yeah, no, I ain't talking about that, MMP. I'm saying if you need anything else, you gotta make them orange, white, blue. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is this.
The Chicago Bears.
Yeah. Listen to what I'm saying, Shimmy. moving forward, you have to have faith. You have to have faith. You have to have faith first and foremost. You know, that's all I want to leave you with. I don't want you to not show up. I know what it is. I know what it's like. I believe when we start doing things for the Most High and we do it in a righteous way without fear, scriptures tell us that the angels of the Lord encamp round about those that fear the Most High. So as long as we fear the Most High in sincerity, them angels gonna always be there to protect us. You know, I've been fortunate to go all over the place, you know, and it's a blessing that the Most High has preserved us. And we constantly have brothers from these specific walks of life that politic and join us. So I say that to say this. There's a reason why the Most High is calling you. You just have to be present and in the moment, right? In the moment means you can't be focused on when you got to go to work. You can't be focused on your relationship. You can't be focused on any of these things. You have to seriously be focused on serving the Most High first and foremost, especially early on. If you don't do that early on, you're going to be stuck in your ways. And I'm telling you that. I'm telling everybody that. If y'all do not, that's why I said earlier, when you come to serve the Most High, prepare your soul for temptation. First and foremost, right? That's about 2 and 1. Then we also read, though it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, when returning unto him, seeking 10 times more. You ain't got to find it. It's all good. You know where it's at. You understand? So just be mindful of that. You know, I'm not the brother that's like, I'm over righteous or anything like that. I ain't that nigga, man. I'm the brother that's saying, listen, we all gonna mess up. A just man falls 7 times, but gets back up. The wicked shall lay in his mischief. All right? The water, the car. I'm so glad y'all are here to help teach. All right? And with that, the car, that is a fox. That's not a wolf. Yabba Shem Shabbat.
Yabba Shem Shabbat.
All right, fox with you. Shimmy, Most High willing, we see